The human brain is a marvel of nature. It weighs a mere 3 pounds but controls everything we do. From breathing to dreaming, the brain orchestrates it all. The brain is divided into 3 main parts: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. Each part plays a crucial role in keeping us alive and functioning. The cerebrum governs our thoughts, emotions, and senses. The cerebellum is responsible for balance and coordination. The brainstem controls essential functions like breathing and heart rate. The cerebrum is the largest and most developed part of the human brain. It's responsible for our higher cognitive functions, including language, memory, and reasoning. The cerebrum is divided into 2 hemispheres, the left and the right, connected by the corpus callosum. The left hemisphere typically controls language and logic, while the right handles creativity and spatial awareness. Each hemisphere is divided into 4 lobes, each specializing in different functions. The frontal lobe governs planning, decision-making, and personality. The parietal lobe processes sensory information like touch and taste. The occipital lobe processes visual information. The cerebellum, meaning little brain in Latin, may be small, but its role is significant. It's the unsung hero responsible for our grace, balance, and coordination. This structure receives information from our senses, the spinal cord, and other brain areas, ensuring smooth, coordinated movements. It plays a crucial role in motor learning, allowing us to refine our movements over time. Remember the first time you rode a bike? The cerebellum fine-tuned your motor skills until cycling became second nature. From walking to dancing, the cerebellum ensures our movements are precise and fluid. It's the behind-the-scenes maestro of our daily activities. The brainstem quietly performs some of the most critical functions for our survival. Connecting the brain to the spinal cord, it acts as the body's control center for essential life functions. It regulates breathing, heart rate, blood pressure, and sleep-wake cycles. The brainstem is divided into 3 parts: the medulla oblongata, the pons, and the midbrain. The medulla controls involuntary functions like breathing and heart rate. The pons acts as a relay station, transmitting signals between the cerebrum, cerebellum, and the rest of the body. The midbrain plays a role in motor control, vision, and auditory processing. The brainstem is a silent guardian, diligently working to keep us alive. The corpus callosum, bridging the hemispheres. Imagine 2 bustling cities, each with its unique character, separated by a river. The corpus callosum is the grand bridge that connects these 2 metropolises, allowing for seamless communication. This thick band of nerve fibers serves as the primary communication pathway between the left and right hemispheres of the cerebrum. It allows information processed on one side of the brain to be shared with the other, ensuring a unified perception of the world. The corpus callosum ensures these hemispheres work in synchrony, allowing us to understand not just the words but also their deeper meaning. It's a testament to the power of interconnectedness, creating a richer experience of the world. The basal ganglia, masters of movement. Deep within the brain lies a group of structures known as the basal ganglia. These interconnected nuclei play a crucial role in motor control, movement initiation, and habit formation. The basal ganglia receive input from various brain areas and relay this information to the thalamus, which then sends signals back to the cortex to initiate and refine movement. They ensure that movements are initiated at the right time, with the right amount of force, and in the correct sequence. The basal ganglia are involved in learning new motor skills and forming habits, from tying your shoelaces to driving a car. Dysfunction in the basal ganglia can lead to movement disorders such as Parkinson's disease. The thalamus and hypothalamus, sensory gateway and life's regulator. Nestled deep within the brain, the thalamus and hypothalamus play vital roles in our sensory experiences, emotional responses, and basic bodily functions. The thalamus acts as a central hub for sensory information, directing incoming signals to their appropriate destinations. It helps us filter out irrelevant information and focus our attention on what's important. The hypothalamus, situated just below the thalamus, is responsible for maintaining the body's internal balance, known as homeostasis. It regulates vital functions such as body temperature, hunger, thirst, sleep-wake cycles, and emotional responses. The hypothalamus ensures our internal environment remains stable, even when external conditions fluctuate. Together, the thalamus and hypothalamus play a crucial role in our perception of the world and our basic survival. The ventricles and CSF, the brain's internal waterways. Imagine a network of interconnected canals flowing through a bustling city, providing essential nutrients and removing waste products. This is akin to the ventricular system within our brains, a series of interconnected cavities filled with cerebrospinal fluid, or CSF. CSF circulates throughout the brain and spinal cord, cushioning and supporting these delicate structures. It acts like a shock absorber, protecting the brain from injury and transporting nutrients to brain tissue. The ventricles and CSF are essential for maintaining the brain's health and vitality. The meninges, guardians of the brain. Encasing the brain and spinal cord are three protective layers known as the meninges, the dura mater, arachnoid mater, and pia mater. These membranes act like a suit of armor, shielding the delicate neural tissue from injury and infection. The outermost layer, the dura mater, is a tough, fibrous membrane that lines the inner surface of the skull. Beneath the dura mater lies the arachnoid mater, a thin, web-like membrane that creates a space filled with CSF, providing additional cushioning. Finally, the pia mater, the innermost layer, adheres directly to the surface of the brain and spinal cord, nourishing the underlying neural tissue. Neurons and synapses. The spark of thought. The human brain is a complex network of billions of neurons, specialized cells that transmit information throughout the body. These microscopic messengers are the building blocks of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Each neuron consists of a cell body, dendrites that receive signals, and an axon that transmits signals. The junction between two neurons is called a synapse. When an electrical impulse reaches the end of an axon, it triggers the release of neurotransmitters, which cross the synapse and bind to receptors on the receiving neuron. This intricate dance of electrical and chemical signaling allows us to think, feel, and interact with the world. Fueling the mind, the brain's blood supply. The human brain consumes roughly 20% of our body's total energy expenditure. To meet its high metabolic demands, the brain requires a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered via a complex network of blood vessels. Two major pairs of arteries supply blood to the brain, the internal carotid arteries and the vertebral arteries. These arteries converge at the base of the brain to form the circle of Willis, providing a crucial safety mechanism. If one of the major arteries becomes blocked, the circle of Willis can provide an alternative route for blood flow. The brain's intricate blood supply highlights its importance for our survival. Mapping the mind-functional areas of the brain. Scientists have identified specific regions responsible for various tasks, creating a map of the brain's functional areas. The motor cortex, located in the frontal lobe, controls voluntary movements. The sensory cortex, located in the parietal lobe, processes sensory information from the body. Broca's area, typically in the left frontal lobe, is essential for language production. Wernicke's area, typically in the left temporal lobe, is crucial for language comprehension. Damage to these areas can result in conditions like Broca's aphasia and Wernicke's aphasia. Understanding the brain's functional organization provides insights into how we think, learn, and interact with the world. The enigma of the brain, a final thought. The human brain remains one of the most fascinating and enigmatic entities in the known universe. While we have made significant strides in understanding the brain, much remains to be explored. The brain's plasticity offers hope for treating neurological disorders and enhancing cognitive function. The brain is a testament to the power of evolution, a reminder of the remarkable potential that lies within each of us.